The bedroom door was slightly ajar, just enough for the sound to slip through. Soft breathless noises, the faint clack of mattress springs. Gusty tugged at me. Or maybe something else. Something heavier. When I looked inside, I didn't expect to see my 25-year-old stepson. Fully immersed in his own world, with in venom that made my breath catch. You weren't supposed to see this, I said out loud, to my own horror. And in that moment, I crossed a line. I had promised myself I never would. But what came after? Even I didn't see it coming. Before I go on, thank you to everyone supporting me this channel. If you are new here, I hope this story draws you in enough to hit that subscribe button. Your thoughts, your comments, your interpretations, they matter. Let's talk, let's share. Now back to that night. My name is Rachel. I've lived most of my life in quiet Colorado town, surrounded by mountains, pine, and long-haired seekers. I married Thomas when I was 41. A man of hard wall and hard silences. A rancher by morning. A math teacher by afternoon. Steady, dependable, emotionally unavailable. He had a son, Lucas, from his first marriage. When I met Lucas, he was a scrawny 13 years old, with wild curls and downcast eyes. He was polite, withdrawn, respectful, but over the years, that word turned into a man. Tall, confident, quiet, and keenly observant. Thomas and I had stopped being physical years ago. No drama, no betrayal, just silence growing like I way between two people, sleeping in different beds. I stayed more firm in inertia than love. Lucas came home for the summer, saying he needed a break after grad school. I offered him to guest room. Somehow, he was always in the kitchen at the same time as me. Our shoulder brushed, our glances lingered, mornings without a shirt. Shared space become dangerous space. That night, I couldn't sleep. Thomas was snoring in the other room. The ceiling fan whined overhead. I got a full of water. I got a full of water, and then I heard the sound. I should have turned back, but I didn't. I stood there, watching Lucas move under the sheet with unheard purpose. And then he whispered my name, like he'd whispered it in the dark before. When he saw me, he didn't feel shame, nor then. That came later, slow and loud. Because I didn't just see desire. I saw something darker, taking shape. Something he had hidden well. The next morning, Thomas was already gone by sunrise. Ranch duty same as always. Coffee brought, birds chirped, but nothing felt normal anymore. I was sitting at the table, staring into my untouched cup when Lucas walked in. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. He stood there shirtless again. This time, deliberate. His jeans hung low, and that same unreadable look sat on his face. Morning, he said. I tried to sound firm. We need to talk about what happened. He smiled, slow and dangerous. We would talk, would do it again. I hated the way my body answered to him before my words could. My breath stirred. My fingers tightened around the mug. It was a mistake, I managed. He stepped closer, voice low. Then why are you trembling? I had no answer. No one. That didn't make me ashamed. The rest of the day, I tried to keep my balance. Errands, housework, the mundane. But Lucas lingered everywhere like a scent I couldn't scrub off. When I found his shirt in my laundry basket, that shirt, I dropped it like it burned me. It still smelled like him. Soap, musk, and guilt. That evening, Thomas came home, kissed my cheek, and told me about the blown tie and a neighbor's pregnant mare. Like nothing had changed. That hurt more than anything. Later, laying in bed beside him, my phone buzzed. A message from Lucas, still thinking. I turned the screen face down and closed my eyes, but sleep was gone. All I had were memories. And the part of my And the part of me I didn't recognize anymore. The part that wanted more. The next day, as scrumped dishes in the kitchen, Lucas came up behind me again, silent and sure. "You haven't told him," he whispered. "So you are not done." I joked away. "We were done. That night was a mistake," he smirked. "Then why are you wearing the perfume I told you drives me crazy?" I had no defense. I put it on that morning without thinking, or maybe on purpose. That scared me most of all. That afternoon, I called my closest friend, Natalie, who lived 2 towns over. I didn't tell her everything. Just enough. A silence online said everything. "Rachel, end it, before it ruins your whole life." But it already was. Quickly and neat. Everything. Guilt, shame, fears, desire, like a fire just starting to catch. Then that evening, Thomas mentioned something that changed everything. "Lucas and I are heading up to Fort Collins next weekend to help my brother with some land stuff," he said. "He's thinking of sticking around a while. Sees things feel complicated here." Complicated? Had Lucas said something? That night, I waited until the house was still. Then he walked into his room and opened the door without talking. He was sitting on that edge of his bed, shirtless again. "You came back," he said. I didn't respond. "What do you want from me, Lucas?" I asked. He leaned back, cookie and calm. "I want you to know why you keep pretending you don't want this," he said. "Why you look at me like I'm air. Then pretend you were not suffocating." My face flushed. He stood slowly. "All man. And he know it. You are leaving with your father next weekend." I said, "That's for the best." He stepped closer, voice near my ear. "Or maybe I tell him everything?" I froze. He laughed slightly. "Relax, I'm not there yet, but you should know something." "What?" I asked. I didn't lose control that night. I planned it. I left the door flat. I said your name out loud. I made sure you'd hear me. My breath stopped. "You wanted to play with it was spontaneous," he said. "But I watched you for months. The perfume, the dresses, the way you looked at me when you thought I wasn't paying attention. You weren't innocent. Neither of us were." I sat down hard on the bed, sick to my stomach. "You manipulated me?" I whispered. He shrugged. "You had a choice, you made it." I stared at the floor. Everything I thought I had known as upside down. "What do you want now?" He gently touched my chin. "I want you to admit you like it. That you needed it. That you are tired of dissipating in a marriage that been dead for years." I didn't let that tears fall. Not yet. But inside I caught. Because it wasn't now. Thomas hadn't taught me endure. Hadn't seen me in even longer. But this wasn't love. It was tragedy. Lost control. I stood. "You want power, Lucas? You have had it. But it ends now. You are living with your dad. You forgot this ever happened. And if you breathe a word of it, I will tear down every piece of your life." He blinked, then smiled. "Didn't think you had it in you?" I held his gaze. "I've lived with bigger lies than this." Then I walked out and closed the door behind me. The consequences would follow. I know that the guilt would linger, but I had pulled the emergency brake. I had chosen not to burn the rest of my life to the ground. Maybe that made me cower. Maybe it made me brave. While Lucas always playing the long game? Should Rachel have told Thomas? Can desire ever exist without manipulation? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Like, share and subscribe if this story hit you, but it hurts, or help you see something new. Until next time, stay brave, stay honest, and stay tuned. Bye bye.